Welcome back to Expediting Change. I appreciate all the love I've been getting on the podcast. For me, Expediting Change in this podcast was really art for me. It was just me putting information out in the air, and the overwhelming response that I got was completely love. I sincerely appreciate it, and I'm going to continue doing it because we want equity now.
The game is in trouble. I've been in my depth for the piece of the puzzle. I got it for real. Still keep me going. I wake up and hustle. You won't see me buckle. I've been in the field.
Welcome back to Expediting Change live at the CBCF. I'm so happy, so proud that you are all here with me and that we have another episode here. We're going to continue to have fun today. I brought the big guns out for this one, though. This one is going to be a good conversation, but I'm not going to just jump right into the conversation because I've been hearing y'all feedback about, hey, Shamari, let your guests introduce themselves. This is not just your show. You're interviewing people. You're absolutely right. So we're going to start with some introductions. What's good?
Right. I am doing well, Shamari. Thank you for having me.
For sure. What's your name? Where you from? What you do? How are you?
All right. That's how we're starting it. My name is Tashni-Ann Dubroy, and I am the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Howard University. I have been there now for 7 years. I've had a very eclectic career. Varied in terms of my experience in higher education,
No doubt.
in entrepreneurship,
For sure.
in industry.
Sure.
And so I bring all of my experiences, lived experiences, to the position that I now hold today.
Woo, Black girl magic. You hear that? While we're at CBCF and we have our first black female president running. So this is right on time. And a bison. And an AKA, I hear, but are you an AKA? You an AKA?
I am not in a sorority.
Okay, me neither.
Okay.
I am. I'm in Mari Phi Mari. So let's talk about it. You said eclectic.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. What you mean by eclectic?
Well, the thing is, if you don't know it already, this funny accent is from Jamaica. Eddie Murphy said it best. Jamaica's got 10 jobs. It's true. And so I was the kid that a lot of people used to tell, you got to focus on one thing. And over the years, I realized that was not true.
For sure.
Because I had multiple interests.
For sure.
I had multiple areas of strength.
Yep.
And I recognized that I did not have to focus on one thing because I didn't want others to limit my potential.
For sure. Absolutely.
Maybe you had to focus on one thing,
That's right.
but Tashni could focus on multiple things at once and excel at them.
Love that.
And so throughout my career, I've realized that I can pursue my academic interests while pursuing my entrepreneurial dreams.
Absolutely.
And I was able to do that in a myriad of ways.
Yep.
I came to this country when I was about 17 years old.
Okay.
From high school, I went to college here.
Yeah.
And I would say that I've always been an entrepreneur.
No doubt.
I was a kid who would take excess plastic from the plastic factory.
Yeah.
And this was before we had pom-poms that were manufactured.
Factory.
Absolutely.
Okay,
the excess plastic, the refuse that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
And I would make pom-poms out of them and sell them to my peers.
Wow.
And that was, so no lemonade stands per se.
But you're hustling regardless, legally. Just getting to the bag.
Absolutely. And that was at Sports Day.
Yeah.
Before bottled water,
yeah,
I would sell cups of water.
Nice.
Because ice cold water was certainly a premium. Back home.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's that entrepreneurial spirit that was cultivated at that time. I just knew it as hustle.
Absolutely.
And
everybody's not a hustler.
Absolutely.
And hustling don't mean selling drugs. You know what I mean? Hustling,
even.
right? You know what I mean?
And
people confuse
the irony of it is, I'm a chemist, but I still don't sell.
No
okay.
doubt. You said you could if you wanted to, because you know how, but you choose not to. That's a bet.
I'm on the good side of history.
For sure.
But I got my undergraduate degree in chemistry from Shaw University.
Okay.
And my PhD in physical organic chemistry from NC State.
Okay.
And my MBA in finance and marketing from Rutgers University.
Smart. She's smart.
And so it's less per se about the degrees, but what the skills that I was able to acquire over the years.
Absolutely.
And I used the skills from all of those degrees very wisely.
No doubt.
In terms of chemistry, I started in the chemical industry after I graduated from grad school at
Nice.
a chemical company called BASF.
Okay.
I think corporate was an outstanding entree into entrepreneurship because it taught me discipline and accountability. It taught me a lingo that I still retain today. It's one of the reasons I went back to grad school, to business school, because I realized I had a deficit. I was sitting in rooms with corporate professionals, VPs, CEOs, etc. And I remember feeling that I wasn't being heard.
No doubt.
I was at the table. I wanted to say something because I wanted to give my opinion about the topic. And nobody was listening to me. And I remember thinking about all of the isms. Was it racism, sexism, ageism?
Absolutely.
And I had to be introspective.
I
I realized that in this case, I didn't speak the language.
Ooh.
And so I tried to raise my hand to speak. They would ignore me. I tried to talk over the men in the room because that's what it was. And they would ignore me. So I went back to business school. And it was then that I started to learn about the contribution margin,
Absolutely.
the balance sheet, the profit and loss statement, income
Love it.
statement,
That lingo.
oh my gosh, value proposition,
Absolutely.
all of the terms that
Absolutely.
you're not going to necessarily learn when you're pursuing a PhD in
For
chemistry.
sure. Absolutely.
And so I went back into that boardroom, and now
Lit
I
their
spoke
ass
with
up. Lit their ass up.
because I was now learning the latest information about what was happening in the industry and case studies, etc. So I felt much more confident when I spoke, and now the men in the room started listening.
So actually, I love what you said, and I want to underscore it as well, because a lot of people nowadays are like only being an entrepreneur, but you kind of said, as you're on your entrepreneurship journey, you actually learn some things going to work for somebody else.
Absolutely.
So it was valuable for time and space and moment. And then even to compound it, you went and was like, okay, I need to go get some more lingo.
That's correct.
So then with that said, what does entrepreneur mean to you? Like, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur to you?
So I think there are ways for you to be entrepreneurial within a company.
For sure.
For me, I took the entrepreneurial route and went and started my own hair care company along with a business partner of mine. But I'll tell you a mistake that I made.
Okay.
I started my hair care company while working at BASF.
Okay.
Some nosy person heard about it and told HR. And I had not disclosed it. And so because of that, they gave me an ultimatum. They said, Tashni, you've got to divest of this company and stay at BASF, or you can leave. I was a new mom at the time, newlywed, and I was making six figures, and I said, you know what? I'm going to stay with BASF.
No doubt.
So I told them I would stay. It was a VP of my division who normally does not do one-on-ones with anybody at my level. But she brought me in, and she was very kind. And in a very calm and mature manner, she discussed the options with me. I said I understood, and I told her I wanted to stay with the company because I was thinking about the money and my family's well-being. I went home that night. I could not sleep. My stomach churned, and I knew I had made the wrong decision. And usually I don't renege on the decisions that I make, but I went back the next day and I said, I am so sorry.
Respect.
But I'm going to take the risk while I'm young.
For sure.
But by that time, I had already set up the company in a manner that I knew it was on a trajectory to be successful.
For sure.
So very soon we were talking to Damon John.
Nice.
We were talking to Macy's
nice.
In their supplier diversity program. And I'll never forget, it was very interesting lessons to learn over time because we were selling our wares to Macy's. And they said to us, your packaging is terrible. If you want to be in Macy's, you got to have a different type of packaging.
Got to be sexy, got to look good.
Got to be elite.
No doubt.
And we were like, that's disrespectful, because, I mean, I've had taste for a very long time.
No doubt. Like, who you talking to? You see how I'm dressed? What?
My packaging looks fantastic. But we were making an error. We were not customer-centric. We were thinking that because Tiffany, my business partner, and I, who's a Hamptonian, we were Black women, and that's the audience we were catering to, we would just run it by each other.
No doubt.
Instead of doing a focus group and formal setup. So we went back to the drawing board, started doing focus groups, like they would do in any industry.
Mm-hmm.
And the women told us the same thing. This definitely could be in a beauty supply store,
Right.
but not in Macy's.
Right.
But a part of that conversation, I remember we asked, the facilitator asked the women, where do you buy your shampoo?
Mm-hmm.
Not a single one of them said Macy's.
So I don't need to be in Macy's. I don't need to change my packaging.
We were so focused on Macy's because for us, that was our North Star.
No doubt.
And we felt as if we were on 34th Street in New York City, Herald Square, that would be, a statement for us. Not thinking beyond the first order.
No doubt.
What if Macy's put us on and said, you know what? Let's distribute. Number one, who's gonna buy it there?
Right.
Because that's not where our demographic is shopping.
Absolutely.
And number two, what are you gonna do if they buy it and Macy's said we need much more?
Absolutely.
So those were the lessons that we learned along the way. It turns out that e-commerce was our most significant channel.
That's dope.
And that was prior to Amazon.
I was about to say, was Amazon
prior to, it was in its nascent phase when Amazon wasn't necessarily a mainstay for consumer products.
Absolutely.
So while I was doing the hair care company, I decided I wanted to give back to my alma mater, Shaw University.
Yep.
I went back to Shaw to become an adjunct professor while doing hair care. And Shaw asked me to come on board full time.
Okay.
They kept on promoting me.
So wait, were you still doing the hair care company?
Absolutely.
Did you disclose it this time?
I disclosed it.
Did you disclose it? All right. Well, let all y'all know. Let everybody know. All right.
I'm a business owner.
No doubt.
And they had no problem with that.
Dope.
They wanted me to introduce entrepreneurship and chemistry to our students. And so that was a beautiful journey for me.
For sure.
But they kept on promoting me.
Nice.
So instead of hiring me as an adjunct, they hired me as a full-time professor.
Okay.
And it was still very flexible, still was able to run the company.
Yep.
Within 3 months, they said, will you be the department chair of the natural sciences and math department, mathematics, biology, physics, environmental science, and chemistry?
What'd you say? What that check look like? And can I sell my product? Can I set up a booth in the back of my classroom? What that check look like?
I didn't know what a department chair did.
No doubt.
I'll be honest with you. When I was in college, I didn't interact with my department chair a lot.
Never.
And so didn't know what the job entailed. But because I wanted to help, I said, sure.
Yep.
It was baptism by fire.
Oh.
It took a lot of work.
Yeah.
And after I was department chair for maybe 2 years, I was asked to serve as special assistant to the president for process optimization.
Nice.
But that title was one that I helped create because I had done process optimization in corporate.
No doubt.
And
wait, so before
go ahead.
Explain process optimization for folks.
So
I know
I'm your mainstay engineer.
Okay.
So in terms of process optimization, it's the way that you break down processes to their simplest forms to make them more efficient. You build them, rebuild them to make them efficient and cost effective.
For sure.
And so it was a matter of looking at the university's processes, seeing what it is that we could do to improve efficiency and effectiveness and help people's lives to be better.
Absolutely.
Get out of doing manual paper processing and move to digital.
Absolutely.
And we were able to do that. And within that time, the position for presidency opened up at Shaw.
And you're senior advisor to the president.
That's correct.
Okay.
And when it opened up, I remember by this time I had seen the position.
Yeah.
The president I was serving was an interim president.
Yep.
And he was also applying for the job. I remember turning to my sister. And so this is a lesson in family and haters.
Oh, man. Family and haters, and then sometimes both. All right, that's a bet.
The Venn diagram.
No doubt. Absolutely.
I remember turning to my sister. She's 8 years my senior.
Yeah.
And I said, the position of presidency at Shaw has opened up. And I think I should apply to it. I want to apply to it. And she said, girl, they ain't going to give you their presidency.
Oh, no. We got to speak life.
Well, the reason she was saying that is because all she saw in me was her little sister.
Absolutely.
So it didn't matter that I was an experienced professional. It didn't matter that I had degrees that I needed in order to validate my application.
Absolutely.
It didn't matter that I had the lived experiences, that I actually was in control of paying people on a regular basis.
No doubt.
To her, she just saw her younger sister.
Well, and had they ever had a black female president?
They had a black female president.
Okay, that's good.
But none that was as young as I was.
Okay.
I applied for the presidency, and while there, I remember there was one occasion when we were doing the steps that it took in order to be competitive in a competitive set. And an older black gentleman came up to me and he said, "You know what you need?" And I said, "No, sir. What do I need?" He said, "You need some Hillary pants and some pearls."
Oh, no.
So I thought, the audacity.
Yo, you must got the patience of a saint, because I would have been done at that point.
I have control over my emotions.
Man,
I got a poker face.
I need to learn that from you.
And I remember thinking to myself, how rude.
Yeah.
But I went home and I thought, who's going to be in the room?
Yeah.
And to be honest, it would be a room of conservative males.
Yep.
And I said, you know what, Tashni? Get the pants and pearls so that they will remove your clothing out of their minds as you contend for the position.
Don't be too fly for them.
And they will listen to the words coming out of your mouth. I wish I had taken a photo on that day because I cut my hair. It was the shortest bob hairstyle ever.
Yeah.
And I look old as ever.
When they looking like Hillary.
As old as I could possibly look.
No doubt.
And I had on my navy suit, my pearls, etc. And
wait, did you already have pearls or did you have to go buy some?
That's my pearls.
Okay, all right.
And they were fake. Just being real.
Fake it until we make it. Fake it until we make it.
Because I don't like pearls.
No, I don't know about pearls either.
And so I ended up doing the interview, nailed it, and I became president of my alma mater at 34 years old.
At 34 years old.
Absolutely.
That's the positive progression of the culture right there. That is crazy. So now you're president.
Yes.
Did you have to disclose again, or what we do? What about the company now?
So now they said I needed to divest of the company. By this time I had amassed a hair care company from a production perspective.
Yeah.
A hair salon. I'd never do that again, but it was beautiful. And it was also a nonprofit called the Brilliant and Beautiful Foundation because we were helping young girls to be successful in the sciences. We wanted to encourage young middle schoolers especially.
Yeah.
And we would bring in graduate students from AWIS and get them to mentor young girls.
Yep.
And we have some of those girls now who are in grad school, graduated. It's amazing to observe. But I had to divest of it because they wanted me to focus on the presidency.
How did it feel taking this job as president, which had to feel great?
Yes.
But divesting in something that you built blood, sweat, and tears.
It was certainly mixed emotions.
Yeah.
But one of the beautiful things about it that I learned in business school was you've got to have your exit strategy.
Absolutely.
Prior to even starting the
Absolutely.
business. You've got to know, is this a long-term business?
Absolutely.
Is it short-term, mid? And we had already decided that we wanted to be acquired.
No doubt.
And so we were building the business for that.
Sale. No
and
doubt.
So when we sold, we retained brand rights and naming rights and sold our formulation.
Nice. I want to underscore that though right there for the folks listening that you just said, as you go into business, when you're thinking about your business and what you're going to do with your business and how profitable it is going to be, also be thinking about your exit strategy.
Absolutely.
That's key. Okay.
Because you got to know what's tomorrow. What does tomorrow look like?
Absolutely.
So if you want to build a legacy building business and you're doing this for your family and you want somebody else to inherit it, then you got to have a succession strategy.
Absolutely.
You got to involve the kids at a very young age because they have to build affinity for the brand, affinity for the process. You have to know the temperament of your children.
Absolutely.
Some children, you introduce it to them too young and they get tired of it and they're like,
Absolutely.
Some children, you show them the tough side of the business, and they're like,
Not
"You
for
look
me.
stressed."
Yeah. I'm
I
never
want a
doing
soft
that.
life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so they say, "No, I don't want to do
Absolutely.
that." A lot of medical doctors, a lot of financiers, they see their children see them work so hard. They're
For
like,
sure.
"I don't want that."
For sure. Like I
Right?
don't want no parts of it.
So we knew what we wanted, and we were able to play towards that. So by the time I became president, it was 5 years from me starting at Shaw to
5 years.
Yes.
Starting out as adjunct.
that's right.
That
that's
did
right.
you write a book yet?
No.
You write a book so I can buy it? I get the first signed copy though. I gotta get the first signed copy. I got a question about your experience. That 5 years and
Yes.
that trajectory was extremely fast and cumbersome. How did you balance what you were doing with your own business and that trajectory moving so fast?
Well, I'll give you some cherries on top of that.
Okay, that's a bet.
So remember, I'm a new parent.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm a newish wife.
Yeah.
And so I'm juggling all
All of
kinds
that.
of responsibilities.
Absolutely.
But my daughter, she was born in New Jersey
Mm-hmm.
in 2009. And
That's
when
good. I never remember my kids. They like March, January, something like that.
when she was born, by the time she was 7 months old, we were on the road.
Nice.
We were at the Bronner Brothers show in Atlanta,
Yeah.
selling hair care products.
Yeah.
She was part of the business.
Hustling,
and my business
grinding.
partner had a 6-month-old,
Yeah.
and we were doing that.
No
And
doubt.
our husbands were very supportive
For sure.
at that time. And so it became part of our DNA.
Yeah.
When I went to Shaw, and I had to teach
Mm-hmm.
up until noon,
Mm-hmm.
pick her up from daycare by 12:30,
Mhm.
bring her back to campus so I
Mhm.
could put her under my desk with her blankies and
Yeah.
everything. And by 2:00, I was in my organic chemistry class.
No doubt.
So she would sleep between the time,
No
the
doubt.
1 hour that Orgo took.
Yeah.
And I have pictures of that.
Yeah.
So she grew up on an HBCU campus.
No doubt.
And
And that grind, though. So take this recording and play that back for the people who see you now
yes.
and then want to judge you based off of where you are now,
know.
not knowing your story.
Oh,
not
absolutely.
knowing it. You know
It
what I mean?
was tough.
No doubt.
It was not easy because I'm still the person who comes home, I cook,
Yeah.
you know, my husband knows how to cook one meal, and it
Oh, man.
was chicken parmesan.
Okay, that's a good
But
dish
he
to
but
make.
he did it
It's a
well.
good dish to
I
make.
mean,
My
fantastic.
daughter makes that. I gotta shout you out, baby girl. Shari, you still make chicken parm the best.
And I also gave him grace.
No doubt.
Taught him how to comb hair
No doubt.
because there were times I had to travel, so
No
he
doubt.
knows how to comb her hair.
No doubt.
So all these Insta daddies that you see
Yeah,
now
no doubt.
combing black girls' hair,
No doubt.
he knew that a long time.
No doubt. He was already ready to rock.
Oh,
Could
absolutely.
have taught those videos.
For sure. And I made a point that if he combed her hair and it didn't look good,
Yeah.
I always said, "Oh no, oh it looks so good."
No doubt.
I did not
It's still
criticize
confidence.
it.
It's still that confidence.
I'd be on a business trip. He'd FaceTime with me. My child looked like she crazy. Purple sock, pink sock, didn't matter because that's when I was like, "Oh baby, you're
Good
too
job.
cute,
Oh,
too cute." I'll be home soon.
No doubt.
Right?
To change it up.
Didn't do a thing. As she got older and she realized, okay, daddy's hairstyle looks a little
Much
bit
different
different.
than mommy's hairstyle. Let's put these photos here and then show everybody else these photos.
But for the time when we needed it,
Yeah,
God granted us what we needed.
no doubt. Absolutely. I love that. Absolutely love that. So now you're Shaw president,
Yes.
but you have this super long big boss title at the Howard University.
Absolutely.
So how do we get from Shaw to Howard?
So in around 2016,
Okay.
some of you may remember Donald Trump was president,
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
the HBCU presidents were invited to go to the White House.
Yeah.
If you look in that photo, you will not see me
Really?
because I wear heels every day.
No doubt.
On that day,
You wear
I
flats?
said, absolutely not.
Somebody gonna be standing in front of you. You will not get this documented. We'll not get this
Y'all
documented.
not about to roast me on my campus.
Absolutely.
But I was truthful with the campus.
No
I
doubt.
brought in a subsection of the population and I said, listen, Dubroy got to go
Yeah.
to the White House.
For sure.
Right? Regardless of the party that is in power,
No doubt.
we have to ensure that we are making friends with everybody.
Absolutely.
And there are some bipartisan leadership councils and partnerships that we have
Yeah.
that are fruitful
Yeah.
for our university.
Yeah.
And so I had